I am the host, Richard Ravenbook, a man, a life coach, and a spiritual mentor who has endeavored to find real spiritual truth and self-enlightenment. With experiences in various ministry types, pagan traditions, and even magical paths. With a love for Mother Earth and a balance of life, I work to channel spirit and to help educate and mentor those striving to deconstruct from mainstream religion and to empower them to find the divinity within themselves and to the truth around them. The messages are focused on everyday life, creating an environment of real coexistence, a world of mutual respect, love, and dignity. The pagan preacher is all things, the preacher and the pagan, speaking from the wisdom of spirit. Welcome back to another episode of the Pagan Preacher Podcast. Today is January 27th, 2024. Our country, our world is turned upside down. Every day is difficult. Every day trying to understand why things are happening the way they are, why people act the way they do, and what we can do to maybe help cure and end some of the grievous things that we see in today's world. Because not everything comes with a simple answer, but I do believe that everything has an answer. That answer may be in compromise. That answer may be in giving a little more than what we would normally want to. But we do so in the better good of the human race and everything around us. I'm going to dive right in today. I believe Spirit has a lot to discuss, a lot to address, because literally things are turned upside down politically, socially, medically, emotionally. Our world is in jeopardy in itself. And sometimes we get caught up in this and we just begin spinning out of control, and we don't know what the truth is. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to go next. It's just too much. But that's why we all have different gifts. That's why we all have different purposes. And we are the way we are today because we haven't been utilizing those purposes and those gifts. We've allowed some religions to tell us that the gifts are evil, that we shouldn't believe and understand certain things for what they are, that we shouldn't understand and practice the hidden mysteries of the universe and the world and of earth and of spirit and soul. But our world is in jeopardy. Our existence is in jeopardy. Everything from here in the United States right now is the border crisis, Texas, and other states and our federal government, to the Ukraine, to the war in Gaza between Israel and the Palestinians. It's a mess, isn't it? And I keep hearing people proclaiming their religion or their religious beliefs or their religious stances. And it just grieves my spirit. It grieves my spirit when I hear Israel give excuses for murdering children, murdering women in the streets that have nothing to do with this war. It's sad. But if you're going to tell me that your God approves, then this world doesn't need your God. And in fact, your God is part of the problem. That your God is not the only God. That your God is an angry God, a jealous God, a God that wants no other gods before them, a God that has done nothing but kill, murder, and slain. And we can't deny that fact. We have evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence of that. People coming forth and saying that we need to kill in the name of God. You're not killing in the name of God, you're killing in the name of what you desire and what you want and what you need. No creator that I can understand within my spirit would have us purposely destroy each other, unless that God wanted to divide us, wanted to separate us in order to achieve more power for themselves. We look around and we see wars all over the place, even in our communities, in our churches, schools, our temples, our homes. We see arguments of political stances and misunderstandings, and yet we can't just seem to grasp the concept of divinity within ourselves. We want to read from a book and try to dictate what supposedly God wants from us, written from a man or a person that we don't know centuries ago. Because we know even the 66 books in the Bible were not written by the actual disciples. They were written by others many, many years after their death. We haven't learned to trust within ourselves and trust that divinity within ourselves. And now when I sit down and I channel spirit and I channel the divine through me to try to express what it is that makes sense in this world, that is that answer and is that cure, because there is one. From everything from this border crisis, we understand that nobody, no man that wishes to protect his family or woman leaves their door, their front door or their back door, wide open to the public. No one would stick a sign out in their front yard saying, "Help yourself. Don't worry about the needs of my children. Don't worry about the needs of my family," or whatever else. If you need something, just come on in and take it. We don't do that. Why? Because that wouldn't make any sense, would it? It's not logical. It's stupid. Flat out, it's stupid. It's ignorant thinking. But does that mean that we don't care for these people? Sure, we care for these people. But having a responsibility to help people and the moral feeling, the moral emotion are two different things. We don't have a responsibility to give to others something that we don't have to give. We have the only responsibility to give our families what they need. That is our responsibility on this earth. And if we have anything left over, if we have extra, then comes that moral standard that maybe we should give to help others when we have more than what we need. And maybe we need to learn more in this country about what it is that we need. Maybe we need to learn that we already have more than what we need. I don't know. But nobody leaves that door wide open. We want to know who comes in our home. We want to know if we can trust them. We want to know where they come from. We want to know, a little bit about them. We don't want people sleeping in our home and with our children and around our family unless we know our family's safe. Well, a leader of a country must do the same thing. A leader of the country must know that the people they allow within the walls of our country, within the borders of our country, are not here with the intention to hurt those within this country. Because though we have many people that, yes, are coming here merely for a better life, and I understand that fully, we also must understand there are people that are coming here for the exact opposite. They come here seeking to destroy, to take, to steal, to manipulate. We have to understand that it's our job to protect. It has nothing to do with hate or racism or anything of that nature. What it has to do with protecting, assuring safety, having accountability for what we do and what we say and how we live. We just can't let anybody and everybody just walk right in that door and take whatever it is they want. And we definitely can't allow others to take or to even receive when we can't even take care of our own first. That would be like telling my children that, well, I'm sorry you can't have dinner tonight because I have to feed the neighbors instead. That almost sounds insane, doesn't it? But that's the logic of an open border. And I know I'm talking a lot of political things right now, but that's because that's the issues right now. And I know that it has people spinning in circles. What do? We're being told that Mother Earth is in jeopardy, that we only have a matter of years to try to make things where Mother Earth can survive this, and that we can survive this. We have made a mess of our world. We truly have. We've focused more on our luxuries and our wants and our desires and our comforts than we have anything else. Many of us here in the United States, we do have more than what we need. And we don't even realize it because we are spoiled. We are just not knowledgeable of the facts of what some people go through in their lives. Starvation around the world, famine, and just poverty. And we all know that it doesn't have to be that way. It is that way because of, number one, I believe, is a religion. Two is the politics behind who is the superpower. And three, resources. We all have resources. We all need those resources. Most of the wars in our world are created because we need those resources. And if people won't give us those resources, then doggone it, we'll just take them, won't we? We'll murder, we'll kill, we'll slaughter. We'll do anything it takes rather than simply working together. Resources should never be for profit. This world, consider what would happen if all of us worked together. All of us in our different mindsets and our resources, our skills and our assets. If we all worked not for gain, financial gain, but what if we all worked simply for a better world and a better life? What would happen if we got past money? What would happen if our existence was about purpose. And everyone had a purpose. Everyone had a mission in this life. Everyone had a direction in this life. And it wasn't about who was rich and who was poor, because everyone has the same, or at least has the ability to gain the same. And I'm not talking about communism and socialism and all these different things. I'm talking about a society that has never been seen before, at least in this generational world, that it can exist if we can get past all the things that separate us. And that's what holds us down right now. Corporate greed, the want for money, the want for more, the want to overpower people and to make people in subjection to others, to create a society of authority and followers, kings and peasants. Many years have gone by, but we really haven't changed. In thousands of years, the only difference is the technology, and that most of us are willing slaves rather than the way they used to be. You think you're not a slave? Just consider for a minute not going to your job for a week. What will happen to your life? You're going to say, well, that's not being a slave. That's just the way it is. What if I said that's not the way it is? That's not the way it's supposed to be. We have put ourselves into a situation where we have no choice but to find a way to make money, to pay all these people that we don't even know, to have the basic necessities that God gave us for free, right? That our Creator gave us free. No matter what creator or whatever God you believe in, those things were given to us at birth. That is our right. The day I was born, the day I came into this world, my Creator said I had the right to life. I had the right to eat. I had the right to be happy. I had the right to create a life for myself and to believe the way I want to believe. That I didn't have to subject my life and to submit my life to a government authority that tells me that I have to follow such laws that I don't agree with. And I have to work and make so much money. Then I have to give so much of that to a government that goes against everything that I stand for. This is what we've gotten ourselves into. And then most of us, we can't do anything because we're trapped. We can't even go to a one-day protest because, well, we might lose our job. Think you're not a slave? Think you're not trapped? Wake up, America. Because we have gotten ourselves deep. And the only way forward is probably backwards. We got to remember where we come from. We got to remember who we are. And we got to remember what made us the way we are. Or the way we were, rather. And then the way we are. Because we've lost ourselves. We've lost a big key of why this all happened in the first place. The world is in chaos. Because most of us are tired of struggling when we don't have to struggle. There used to be a time when a person could just, when they got of age, they would find them a spot of land, build them a little house, plant them a little garden, maybe raise a family if that's what they chose. But we can't do that anymore, can we? From the day that we can recognize right and wrong, our parents or our leaders or schools, whoever, start asking us, what do we want to do as a job? What do you mean as a job? I just want to live. well, that's just not the way things are. What if I said it could be that way? What if I said that you could have all that? All of us could. All of us could live a life of purpose. Yes, we may have jobs, because in our purpose, we have a function in this world according to what we're good at, what we want, what we desire in life, what makes us happy. You know, some of us are good in politics. Some of us are good in being a spiritual mentor. Some of us are good as a farmer, hunter, builder, scientist, doctor. These are things that, you know, it's not about who's better or who's worse or who's smarter or who's not. It's simply about being who it is that you are and being all that you can be in this world and for that purpose. And when everybody begins to function in that purpose and not worrying about cash, not worrying about money, because everyone has what they need. They have a roof over their head. They have clothes on their back and food in their stomach, and they're not worrying about having that $60,000 car rather than that $600 car, because it doesn't matter. Because we build things and we create things for everyone. And we don't try to create a society that lifts one up solely because they have more money and breaks another one down because they had a financial hard time. You know, I've said before that even competition sports, you think competition sports helps this world? No, it doesn't. Competition sports is part of what has destroyed this world. You say, well, that's just absolutely crazy. But it is. You know, why do we as society take and always want to lift someone else better than the other? Well, you have to win. You have to be either first place or second place. You have to be better than them. You have to be, we teach our children from the day they're born practically to be better, faster, stronger. And we've done that because so far in this world, we've had to create warriors and we've had to create things to strive to be better than other countries and better than other societies so we can rise up. But that's not the way things should be. Competition sports creates divisions within us emotionally, mentally. You know, and I'm not saying that you know, games of that nature and things of that are wrong, because, you know, that's not what I'm saying. But I've seen in some competition sports emotions so high, so people get so angry, so emotional over a game because they're taught that they have to be better and faster rather than simply being all they can be, period. And not worrying about being better than the other person, but just focusing on being the best person that they are and fulfilling the purpose in this life that they have. We have allowed things to come into our existence that do and have nothing but destroyed us, that hinder us. You know, and looking into these things, and I know that a lot of what I'm saying right now, people will be like, well, I don't really agree with that. But if you look deep into what I'm trying to say, and I hope I've said it right, you'll see that what I'm telling you is the truth. That it isn't good. It isn't good for a world that desires unity. It isn't good for a world that desires oneness and purpose and desires to create a system of real equality and justice for everybody. You can say, well, you're talking about a utopia society that just can't exist. But I'm telling you, Spirit says that it can exist. It can. And it grieves the Spirit. It grieves me. Every time I sit back and I hear Spirit saying, well, this is what could be. And I see images within my mind's eye and the visions the Spirit gives me. And seeing society for what it could be. And then I see, like Israel, murdering children. And I see just the things going on in Germany, France, all over the world. I applaud South Africa for what they did, for what they've done. Going to the International Court of Justice against Israel, I applaud you. We need more like you. Thank you for being brave and having the courage to do so. I pray and hope the rest of the world will do the same thing. Laying everything to the side and saying, no, this is wrong. I don't care what happened. I don't care what the past held. Killing children and women that have nothing to do with this battle, this war, this argument is wrong, period. It's genocide. And it should stop. All these different things that are going on around the world. Well, we can't go up against our governments because of whatever reason. And we all, as free men and women, have the right to rebel against our governments when those governments become corrupt. None of us, as free people, should never have to subject ourselves to corruption or evil or simply things that just don't line up with what we believe. We have people in our governments that want nothing but absolute control, absolute power, and they will take it if we allow them to have it. Their plan has been to take this for many, many, many years. Everything has been in this plan. Everything that has happened has been planned for this purpose. And it's going to take a fight to end it. It's going to take a struggle to end it. But we can't end it unless we join forces together. Unite together as a people. All different cultures, all different races and traditions, all different mindsets, all different religions, join together in their common interest. Survival, enlightenment, growth, ending this corrupt society that we have built all over this world, this system of power and money and greed and selfishness. We can change it. We can end it. And we can change everything. Bringing in leaders that understand and hear the voice of our ancestors' spirit, that understand the things that to a spiritual mindset just makes sense. But sometimes Spirit has to smack us in the back of the head and say, wake up. What are you doing? What have you been doing? You know, we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over when we see it's not working. Religion has had over thousands of years. Nothing has improved. In fact, it's gotten worse. Our governments, no government has lasted over a few hundred years without falling or failing. There is a way. There is a better way. Listen to what Spirit has to say. Listen to the words that come from my voice. There is a better way. We can end the pain and the suffering and the murder. we can live together and we can coexist in unity and a mutual understanding of our differences. And we can be a better people, and we can grow, and we can strengthen ourselves, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We can rise above this current existence and be far more than what many people believe a human being can be. I know because I've seen it, I've felt it, I've heard it. It can happen, but it takes all of us. Lay down those weapons. Stop using science to build weapons of mass destruction. Start using science to just help people. Stop worrying about how much money we're going to get for it, and just start worrying about what good we can do from it. The future world will not have money. It will not have the things that we see today. Because society will only survive if we can achieve that. Because mankind at this rate is doomed. We will destroy ourselves. We will destroy our world if we don't change things now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Remember, I am the pagan preacher, Richard Kent. Some people call me Richard Ravenbrook. Ravenbrook is my magical name. It is my practice name. Take some time. Review what Spirit has said. Please share these podcasts, or at least share the message that's within them. Be blessed, everyone, and blessed be. Thank you, everyone. This is Richard Ravenbrook. From my heart to yours, I hope you are blessed. Please be a blessing. Share these podcasts. Share my short videos. Tell the world the work that's being done. Help me open the minds of those so closed. Help me bring into the fold those seeking truth and enlightenment. Be blessed.